everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is me Vidya from Mid-Age Mommyhood, and in my today's video I'm going to tell you how you can set a proper routine with your child in order to make sure that homeschooling, early learning, or basically your entire life settles down properly and you don't struggle to make your child study or sleep or do whatever they want to do in a daily life. Basically, setting routine is something which is going to help you out a lot. So in this video, let us learn the importance of setting routines and also understand that how you can incorporate small things in your toddlers or your infants or your preschoolers life in order to make sure that the routine is maintained in the most perfect way. Setting up a routine which is familiar to your child and repeating it over and over and over again every single day without break is something which makes sure that it sets the clock inside the child. The biological clock is set in such a way that the child automatically understands that this is the time when I have to wake up, basically the time frame. After waking up, this is what I am supposed to do. After doing this is what I am supposed to do next. Now it is time to study, now it is time to eat, and finally now it is time to go to sleep. So basically it is a routine or routine setting or you following it over and over again in a repeated way that the child understands that this is how a day in my life is supposed to be. And that is why if you ask me questions like my child is not ready to do an activity, or my child is not ready to sit for 5 minutes with me for doing activity, or my child is not going to bed on time, or my child is being very cranky, or he's running out of the bed, he's not ready to sleep, this is a solution for everything. Because you are actually giving the child a sequence of steps. You are telling that after you wake up, this is what we are going to do next. Once that is done, this is what you are going to do next, and this is how we proceed throughout the day. And finally we wind up the day by sleeping and going back to bed and sleeping. So this way the child understands that okay, this is how the routine is supposed to be, and this is how everyone is following, and this is how I am also supposed to follow, and thus this routine thing sets firm into your child's life. Now let us understand about the importance of following a routine or setting up a routine into a child's life. The first and the most important thing is that it sets a child's biological clock or the body's clock. The child's body automatically adjusts to a sequence of steps that we are doing over a period of the day. Now this will help the child's body to understand that okay, this is the time when I'm feeling hungry, this is the time when I have to go to toilet, this is the time when I think I have to wind up everything and go back to sleep, and this is the time when I'm going to do outdoor plays, this is the time when I'm going to do indoor plays, this is the time where we are going to study. So automatically the child's body sets to it, and for us the whole transition becomes really very simple, and with very minimum interruption from our end, the child will be able to do everything. Now remember, routine does not happen or does not come over a single day or 2 days. It takes time, it takes months basically. So when you don't give up, and when you keep on practicing the thing over and over again with your child, the child's body and the child as a whole settles into that routine, and that will be something which is going to help you a lot. Second thing is that setting up routine also makes the child feel that we both are a partner in any activity that we are doing. For example, the child, instead of just doing the activity, instead of just throwing it around and walking off the place, if you start picking up things and putting things back into the bin and taking it back to the shelf or the cupboard or whatever you follow, what happens is that the child thinks that okay, mama is a part of me, mama is a partner, and she's going to help me do that, and this is what I'm supposed to do with her, this is what she expects from me, and this is what I'm supposed to do. So what happens is slowly the child starts picking it up, putting it back, and that thing happens like a very smooth thing. So that power struggle which happens in parents, like between the parents and the child, where the child just throws everything, and there are only two things which are left with the parent: either to shout at the child and tell that whatever you're doing is wrong, put it, don't do this, don't do that, or else at the end of the day the parent have to sit and wind up and clean everything. So these two things gets avoided because the child now knows that it's a routine to play and then put everything back to the place from where it have come. Next thing is that it creates a very calm environment. Now this is very important. You would have noticed that whenever your child is out of his familiar environment, out of his familiar routine, what happens is that the child is born to show some meltdowns and tantrums and things like that, because the child always expects an order. So that is how a child is wired to be. The child always want to have an order in life, but he's not getting that, and that is exactly when the child starts throwing tantrums and other things. So what you need to do is, when you are setting up a routine, the child expects and understands that what is the next thing that is going to come and how are we going to do that particular thing, right? So the child is familiar to everything that is going to happen across the day, and even if there is a slight change here and there because of your traveling schedule, or maybe some x number of people, guests coming into your house, that is not going to affect your child in any way. So the whole thing settles in your child's mind, and thus it creates a very calm environment for your child also, and he'll be always at peace. Next thing is that it lays a foundation to a very concrete habit which will be carried on to the future also. So if you remember in the previous video, I told you the child imitates us and the child becomes whatever he is imitating, and that same thing is carried on till his adulthood as well. So if you are following this routine, the child will understand, the importance of routine, and his body will settle into it, and he will expect to do the same thing throughout his life. He will do the same thing basically throughout his life, and he will plan and schedule and basically makes everything more organized so as to work effectively even when he's grown up as an adult. Next is that it makes sure that the child is independent. So this kind of following the ritual will actually understand and make the child understand that this is what I'm supposed to do next, and this way the child will kind of become more and more independent. And because of the routine, when you are involving your child into anything that you are doing, be it your kitchen skills or your cleaning skills or anything, the child basically understands that the child tries to reciprocate and be involved in these activities. This way it fosters a lot of confidence as well as independence in the child. Now let us discuss on how you can schedule a routine for your child. Now, before you set up a routine, there are few things which have to be fixed in a day. For example, waking up time, breakfast time, lunch time, snack time, dinner time, play time, study time. So kind of make sure that these are the things which are going to be fixed throughout the day, and these are the windows where it can be flexible. Like if I'm busy, I can do this, or maybe I can do something else in the period which is given as a free window. So usually what I do is that I set up three things mainly. I set up the morning part, which is like the wake up time, and then I set the middle part, which is like the lunch time, and then the last one, which is the sleep time. And based on these things, I set up the rest of the routine. For example, in morning, after waking up, there is a series of things that we do. For example, brushing teeth, taking a shower, and then having breakfast comes next. And then with the lunch, we also have, after having lunch, a very short nap. And then after having dinner, we have just a small just warming up or running around or maybe dancing or something, have a cup of milk and go to sleep. And when we are going to sleep also, there are certain steps. For example, take a shower, do a massage, read a book, cuddle, and then sleep. So these are the three main blocks which are set, and the time between them is actually adjusted the way it suits my lifestyle. For example, the afternoon time, that is the lunch to basically night time, is something where I'll be held up with my work. So that is not somewhere where I can do a lot of activities with him. So I understand that the activities and learnings and whatever have to be done in the first half. That is between waking up and lunchtime. So between waking up and lunchtime, when I'm preparing the food, that is the time when I'll not be able to take care of him. So that is the time where we give him free play, where he plays whatever he wants. So it's more of open-ended plays, open-ended toys, activities, and so many things like that. Once that is done, once I have taken a shower and I'm ready to be with him, then we have a series of activities that we do for the day. So it's like it's basically different kinds of themes and different kinds of things that I keep ready. For example, I spoke about the unit study, so I keep different units and materials studied, so we do that. So you can have anything which is planned, and you can fix in that particular time gap that you are getting. So once the lunch is done, and once that is over, then there's a little bit of playing around, and then he goes to sleep. And that is the time when I have to work. So that whole period where he, after he has lunch to my work getting over, that is somewhat around 7:30, is something where I can't be with him, or I can take care of him. So that is the time when he'll be in care of his grandparents. But if you don't have anybody to take care of them, he'll be with you or she will be with you. It's perfectly okay. But if you are working, that is the time when you can't do anything. If the child is sleeping, that is the time you can't do anything. But when the child wakes up, again have a bit of snacks or something, and then start up with some activity wherein there is a lot of communication. So that's what we do. So once my work is done and he's ready, he's already woken up, we usually maybe maybe we sit and do some math, wherein we do counting, or maybe some alphabets or anything like that, or any, I take up any activity, color matching, sorting, or any activity where there's a lot of interaction, because there's been a huge gap wherein there was no interaction between us. So that particular thing is taken care in this phase. But at times, if you feel that you are very busy and you are held up with a lot of work or deadlines or anything like that, again you can substitute this period with an open-ended play, where you can keep your child next to you, and you can make him play and do something or anything like that. Nowadays, even kind of, what do we say, a limited screen time is also fine for the child, if we are showing them something which is good, something from which the child is learning. So this is what we do. If if I feel that I'm very tired, or I'm sick, or maybe I have a lot of work or other things to be done, and I'm not able to personally sit and make him learn something in that particular period, what I do is that I give him maybe a limited amount of screen time, and he enjoys that, and we watch videos which interests him. So instead of going for animation, we watch for some educational videos or something new which kinds of sparks curiosity inside him. So this is how it goes. And after that, the night block comes, and what we have to do in the night block. Again, we follow all the routine, and now the child's body, over the period of time when we have practiced it so many times, he naturally understands that this is the time that we are supposed to sleep. So he winds up everything by himself, and his body himself, it tells him that okay, it's done, it's time to go to sleep, so just relax. And that is how he goes off to sleep. So this is how the whole setting of 3 different main fixed blocks, and then dividing everything in between, that works for me. You can also try the same. Next important thing to setting routine is to be very flexible and not to get irritated, because it's not necessary that whatever routine you are planning, your child fits into that and fills into everything, and everything starts working over a week or 2, because it generally takes time. For me, we started long back, and for a really long amount of time, setting up that routine was tough. Even for now also, that sleeping time routine thing is little tough for us, because it kind of goes up and down a bit. But it's okay. Let's not get irritated, because after all, it's a child, and let's be open to a bit of flexibility. Only thing we have to make sure is that we are continuing the same thing over and over again. The next important thing is to understand that we are not here to schedule something, but we are here to set a routine. So every time somebody asks me, how do you schedule your day, I say it's not about scheduling the day, but it is about setting a routine. Now let me tell you what I mean by these 2 things. So when I'm saying about scheduling a thing, it's basically like I have to fix time, like okay, this is the time that I'm supposed to wake up, this is the time I'm supposed to have lunch, this is the time I'm supposed to do this. So that, I feel, does not happen with the child, and it's little tough to focus or to move forward with it. But instead, what we do is that we schedule. We set a routine. Basically, we understand that these are the things which have to be done in this particular order, and that gets filled throughout the day according to our convenience. So there is no fixed timetable that at 3 o'clock you have to go to sleep, nothing like that. It's like when you finish your lunch, you have to go to sleep. So because the child is very small to understand about time, and look at the time and associate his activities with it, scheduling as per a particular timetable or something is actually not required at this period of time, and you can just practice the normal routine setting. So when you set up the routine now, it becomes very easy to include a period for your child to study, learn, and do all these activities with you. I'll be telling you which is the time where I, do the proper activities with him, and how do I manage it, how do I schedule it very soon in my next video. So hope this video on the importance of routine and how to schedule or how to plan a routine in your life is super useful for you guys, and maybe you can try it out at your home also. But understand, the key to everything is peace. The key to everything is being open to flexible and not getting irritated, because it's a child and he takes his own time. But stick on to whatever you have started. That is the most important thing. If you feel that this video was very useful, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Also give a like to this video. And if you feel that there are any other moms or parents, why just moms, even dads also, anybody who may be benefited by this video, please do share this video to them so that I can reach out to more and more people. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, go and follow me on Instagram, because I do share a lot of educational content over there as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be back with another video in next time. Bye bye.